Welcome back, team. So in this video, I want to talk about my take on the purpose of life. I'm going to take you through how I define it, how I came to that conclusion, and what it means to me. Now, as a quick disclaimer, this will delve into self-work. So if you're not prepared for that, if you're not at that point in your life so far, that's not your cup of tea, then this video is unfortunately not for you. So with that, let's get into it. So I briefly mentioned that I would be making this video in my Huawei Seeds for the Future tech program vlog. If you haven't seen that, by the way, go check it out. I think it was fun. You might like it as well. But essentially, I came to this revelation early on in this year on, how life should be defined, on what the purpose of life is in my eyes. So here it is. The purpose of life is to understand who you are and to live that definition, live up to that definition every single day, regardless of the pain or joy that it brings you. Now with that, how on earth did I come up with this? So since last year, I've invested a lot of time into understanding childhood trauma and self-esteem, which, as an aside, is not the everyday confidence that we think of. That is not the same as self-esteem. However, my point is I spent a lot of time delving into these topics and understanding things like setting boundaries, asserting yourself, understanding, what are you okay with? What are your values? What do you want from life? What are you after, kind of thing. And by asking myself these questions, by going through these topics and trying to practice asserting myself and understanding, what am I okay with? Where am I right now, and how can I improve certain behaviors and patterns? I began to notice that I was constantly asking myself, what do I want? What do I stand for? What do I value? Essentially, who am I? Now, while going through this process, asking myself these questions, going through certain practices, at times it felt like the best feeling in the world. Like, it was so full of beauty and love and joy and color that it was just the best experience in the world, trying to assert myself and understand who I am. But on the flip side, in the worst case scenarios, at times it felt like the most absolutely irrevocably awful experience, and that's the only way I can describe it. At times like those, the process was so painful that you would question, do I even want to do this? But as I went through these scenarios and processes and experiences, I realized that both in the beautiful process and joyful process and painful process, in both scenarios, they served what I was looking for. They served to help me build a stronger foundation for myself. They served to bring me closer to my goals because I was one step more in tune with who I was. And so both, although entirely different experiences, served what I was actually after. Really just getting closer to my goals, which is exactly how I came up with this definition. Understand who you are and you will have the career that you want, the life that you want, the goals that you want. And why that is because you don't have all of the confusion and blurriness that a lot of other people do, because you'll be so in tune with yourself, your values, who you stand for, who you are, and what you want, that you won't know exactly what to go after, and there will be literally nothing that can stop you because you know exactly what your vision is and you know exactly what you want. And to do this, you need to go through that painful process and that beautiful process to get to that point and live up to the definition that you've created for who you are. Now, what does this mean to me? This process of thinking and this idea has been life-changing for me because I feel so much more awake in life. I feel so much more in control of my life. Like I'm acknowledging where I am right now, and therefore I'm using that to then design where I want to go in the future. I feel like I have so much more control over my life and where I will go just because I'm taking the time to understand what I want and who I am. It's definitely been a transformative process, but by no means is it close to being done because I've literally just gotten started on this. So in conclusion, that is how I've come to define life, the purpose of life. I hope this has given you some ideas to think about. I hope it has sparked some gems in your own brain, and I hope it leads you to where you want to go. So with that, you know what I'm gonna say? Until next time.